Is it possible that Detroit Red Wings GM Steve Yzerman actually won a few of the drafts that he had taken part in, despite never winning the first overall selection? For years, Detroit Red Wings fans have suffered through pain, misery, and disappointment, not just with the on-ice play of the team, but with the draft lottery results too. In 2020, they were the worst team in the league, and they slipped from 1 all the way to 4 when those lottery balls were pulled. The Red Wings ended up taking Lucas Raymond in that selection, and he is debatably the top prospect in that draft. But what if I told you that the very next year, a similar thing may have happened here? Today, I wanted to talk about the Detroit Red Wings and their 6th overall pick, Simon Edvinsson. Now, I think at this point in his NHL career, Red Wings fans are familiar with what Simon Edvinsson brings to the game. He's stable, he's huge, he's got some good puck mobility, and he is a monster on his feet. Take a look at the points that he is able to score, and this season he is on pace for 29 points in a 79-game campaign. He's got 16 points in 43 games at the time of recording this audio, and while it's true that his current point production pace is less than the 31 points he had last season in 78 games, Simon Edvinsson is still showing a lot of growth and a lot of stability in the way he plays. Edvinsson and Seider have been dubbed the Twin Towers pairing, for better or for worse. And at this point, Red Wings fans trust Simon Edvinsson as one of the best defenders on the team. If you take a look at the minutes, he's going out there with some 25, 26, 22, 23-minute games. He is a utilized defenseman, and for good reason. 6'6", 223 pounds, a left-handed workhorse, a guy who stabilizes that left side on D so much to the point that the Red Wings did not want to include him in a Quinn Hughes trade proposal. Now, I get it, there were some other intricacies with how that went down, the fact that Edvinsson would have been replaced for Quinn Hughes, and if Quinn Hughes ended up leaving, then the Red Wings would have essentially given up Edvinsson for 1 year of Quinn, which would have been pretty detrimental because the left side would be totally depleted. If you were to send away an Axel Sandin Pellikka instead, and Quinn Hughes were to leave in that situation, you would still have Edvinsson and Seider as one lefty and one righty. There's an entire nuance there that understands why the Red Wings weren't comfortable with trading away Edvinsson. But anyways, the reason we are making this video is because of a post that I saw on Twitter by Derek Lee, 075, earlier in the decade. This tweet that's on the screen was posted back on August 16th, 2023. And it says this: with the exception of Tyler Boucher, who was drafted too high, Simon Edvinsson is the only top 12 player from 2021 who won't be a National Hockey League player to start the year. Steve Yzerman essentially just blocked him with the recent mid-additions. I'm not a Red Wings fan, but I would be pretty upset about this. Now, back in 2023, the Red Wings made some questionable signings. The biggest one was Justin Hall, but there also was a trade for Jeff Petrie thrown in there too. However, Petrie plays right, so it's a little different. But the point of this tweet essentially dives into how all these prospects at the time of 2023 were NHL players with the exception of Edvinsson. But the interesting thing about this list is that if you re-look at everything in 2026, you could very well make the debate that is posted about here by Jake. Enough time has passed, and I'm not afraid to say it, Simon Edvinsson clears everyone on this list. And that, my friends, is something that I think we probably can hang our hats on and agree with. Owen Power or Simon Edvinsson? I honestly would take Simon Edvinsson at this stage of their NHL career. Power's great. He's playing on a hot Buffalo team. They're winning games. He's a big, important part of that team. But Simon Edvinsson, I feel, is just a tad more solid and more reliable at this stage of his career. You talk about some of the other names that are forwards, Mason McTavish, Kent Johnson. I think it's fair to say that Edvinsson is a more valuable piece than those guys right now, especially Kent Johnson, who's being demoted and not really given much ice time in Columbus. Then you have Luke Hughes, the 4th overall New Jersey Devil who's making $9 million a year. There are question marks with the future of Hughes and his brother Jack in New Jersey, whether or not that relationship is going to continue for the end of those contracts. It's just up in the air at this point. And then you think about some of the other guys here. William Eklund, Brandt Clark, Tyler Boucher, Cole Sillinger. I think Edvinsson is a comfortable way ahead. All of these guys. The only name that I can see giving some debate as to whether or not he's better than Edvinsson is Utah's Dylan Guenther. Now, Guenther is a guy who has been so talented the past few years, but right now he is breaking out like hell on earth with the Utah Hockey Club. He is one of these multitude of players that have just found their stride and started to contribute offense in a way that we didn't really expect out of the former Arizona Coyotes team. It was a matter of time, considering the talent that Guenther possessed, but now he's really giving us a run for our money when it comes to talking about who is the best selection of prospects from this draft. Now, this is just the top 12 of 2021. There are some other names that were super good players taken later on, like Wyatt Johnston, for example. He leads the 2021 draft class in points by quite a long shot. 227 points in 291 games. That Wyatt Johnston is above and beyond everybody else. But is he more valuable than Simon Edvinsson? I think, at the very least, you could say Edvinsson is a top 3 guy. If you wanted to argue top 1 or top 2, that argument exists. I don't think it's irrational. So with all this in mind, I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. The fact that Steve Yzerman and the Detroit Red Wings dropped from number 1 to number 4 back in 2020, and they had the 6th overall pick in 2021, is this a winning formula for Stevie Y within the context of the drafts that he has been a part of? Steve Yzerman debatably won the 2019 draft too. Sure, he didn't take the best player, but Moritz Seider at 6th overall, a surprise pick that nobody was expecting, he was a crazy pull. And I think now a lot of Red Wings fans absolutely are in love with that pick. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about Steve Yzerman and the Detroit Red Wings, whether or not Edvinsson was a winning draft pick back in 2021. Is he one of the best players in the draft? I'd say so. Is he the best? It's him, Guenther, or McTavish, in my opinion. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.